Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free.
A protest billed as the Freedom Ride.
Now is the time to freak out for freedom.
Freedom and fear are at war.
And it's all about freedom. You know, we're going to lose our freedom.
Anyone familiar with political discourse in the West, particularly in the U.S., should be acquainted with the role of the word freedom in politics and popular journalism. The word has become a prominent feature in the national political vocabulary and is a perennially popular theme in presidential rhetoric. In last week's State of the Union address, President Obama lauded the Tunisian people for their bravery in ousting President Ben Ali.
And we saw that same desire to be free in Tunisia, where the will of the people proved more powerful than the writ of a dictator.
But the Obama administration has been cautious in addressing the current protests in Egypt. The President and Secretary of State Clinton have highlighted the importance of civil rights, but have not explicitly called for free elections. And Vice President Biden has even denied that Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak is a dictator.
I would not refer to him as a dictator.
As a result, some observers are asking why this week's demonstrations have received a measured response from administration officials. To make sense of the American reaction, it helps to look back in time. After achieving independence from Britain in the 1950s, Egypt began to be recognized as a political and cultural leader in the Arab world. In 1956, President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal, a symbol of Western imperialism, and used much of his resulting influence to promote unity within the Arab world. Since Nasser's death in 1970, the country's influence among its Arab neighbors has waned, while its relationship with the U.S. has improved. The country signed a groundbreaking peace treaty with Israel in 1978, and in the early 1990s embarked upon a policy of economic reform with the help of the IMF. The nation is currently the second largest recipient of annual U.S. foreign aid. But critics note that Egypt's decades-long pro-Western stance has come with a price. For the past 30 years, Mubarak has received over 80% of the vote in Egypt's doctored elections, held once every 6 years. The leader and his regime have denied Christians of their rights, jailed tens of thousands of political dissidents, and regularly censored information from its citizens. American politicians and diplomats have gone on record urging the president to allow public assembly and freedom of speech, an unlikely proposition for a dictator who on January 28 ordered Egyptian ISPs to shut down most access to the internet. Still, few leaders publicly question Mubarak's legitimacy. Instead, many policymakers fear the uncertainty that free and fair elections represent. What the U.S. absolutely does not want is for the well-connected and illegal opposition party, the Muslim Brotherhood, to win elections in a post-Mubarak Egypt. The organization maintains an Islamist ideology and argues for the cancellation of Egypt's peace treaty with Israel. No doubt, in the days preceding a possible Egyptian revolution, American policymakers will be mulling over how to react to a free Egypt, one where Islamists could play a larger role, and politicians may express greater concern over American involvement in the Middle East.
Get up with the regime! Leave the corrupt Muslim. We are taking up Muslim.